Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are continuing our MLB 2015 team previews right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Right now we're going to take a look at the Philadelphia Phillies. Joe Duffy, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Peter.
All right, Joe, we're going to cover Philly right now, and the market is down on Philly, right? They won 73 games last year. They were a slightly bad bet, minus 2.5% ROI, which put them at minus 4.5 units on the year. The market, though, right now, I last checked at Bookmaker, has them at 68.5 wins, heavily juiced to the under. Right now, the line at Bookmaker, 68.5. The over is plus 132. The under is minus 157, and I can see why that would be. Of course, this is looking like a rebuilding year for Philly. I don't know if they have any strengths. They have some pretty big weaknesses, though. Their lineup looking a little bit chintzy, but the starting rotation is looking like it could be a big weakness, maybe one of the worst in the majors. Still, 68.5 wins under minus 157. That's a hell of a lot of disrespect, right, Joe?
I think the main reason that the over-under is so low is because most people do believe that the Phillies are going to be sellers. I don't think that's really based on the current roster, where, look, Ryan Howard, he's got that ridiculous contract. Basically, nobody wants him because of that contract, but Howard will probably not be on the team all year. Cole Hamels, I can see him getting traded. Chase Utley will, some of their old-timers who still have a little bit left in them, will they still be on the team all year? Very unlikely. Of course, Cliff Lee, some uncertainty about his arm. But I think the Phillies will actually start the year a little bit better than that over-under would imply. But I think most sharps believe that the Phillies will definitely be sellers as the All-Star break approaches.
Interestingly, so that you maybe anticipate that in the beginning of the year they might be they have their best chance of being a profitable bet, and then maybe at the end of the year they'll be one of these teams that we see just losing game in and game out, and even as a big underdog, a good team to bet against, because that does tend to happen every year, and that could happen with Philly. Is that what you are expecting, maybe?
If the Phillies are really a big dog a lot early in the year, they might be a decent play. Remember, Ryan Howard in previous years, he was hurt during the offseason, so this is the first time in, I think, about 3 years that he had a full offseason to at least work out. Chase Utley, there is still a little bit left in the tank. Obviously, when Cole Hamels goes out there, they're still going to have a much better than average pitcher. And like I said, without question, the most important player on the team is Ryan Howard. Can Ryan Howard have a bounce back year? If so, then all of a sudden, maybe the Phillies won't be such sellers, and they could definitely surprise some people. But I think, early on in the year, Phillies might be a little bit undervalued, and despite the fact that nobody in Philadelphia likes Jonathan Papelbon because he runs his mouth a little bit too much, he bounced back with a nice year as a closer last year, so he's quietly still a much better than average closer.
Interesting insights, Joe Duffy, but just on the win total, if you had to make a bet on it, 68.5, over at plus 132, under minus 157, which would you go with?
With such a crazy low total, I would have to go with the over. And keep in mind with this kid Giles, they might have a pretty good setup, man. But the truth is, the only way you can really make a good prediction on that is to accurately predict what Ruben Amaro is going to do on the trade market. But I would say I would take the over. All
right, Joe Duffy, tell us what your website, OffshoreInsiders.com, is all about.
Offshore Insiders, where we make the picks on a daily basis, not so much project season long, and we make adjustments. We have got a lot of great angles and systems that are based on whether a team's off a win or loss, et cetera. Been doing this publicly, winning baseball since 1988. Joe Duffy's picks at OffshoreInsiders.com.